If you're a high-achieving woman who's exhausted by stress, stuck in constant conflict, and tired of being overlooked in the exact rooms where you know you were born to lead, then this podcast is for you. So here's your host, Pallavi Jain.
Hey, welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host and your friend, Pallavi, and we are at her Boss Brain podcast. Welcome, friends. If you're tuning in while reheating your coffee for the third time, untangling a soccer uniform from the dryer, or whisper screaming at your child to just find your other shoe, this one's for you. Today we are diving into the back to school chaos, also known as the Olympics of working mom mental gymnastics. Wow, that sounded so much cooler. We're going to talk about how to stop drowning in endless tasks, how to get your brain back online, and how to reset your schedule without quitting your job and moving to a remote goat farm. Well, unless the goats have Wi Fi, then we might need to talk. Let me start with this DM I got last week from a listener, okay? And she writes, I started your morning routine after listening to episode 2, and it was amazing. Everything was working great until back to school hit. Now I'm not getting enough sleep. My routine is out the window, and I feel stressed and snappy all day. What do I do? Sounds familiar? Raise your hand if you are in this club. Now, before we go anywhere, just pause and breathe. Seriously, inhale and a long exhale. Life will always happen around us. We are going to get thrown off track. But you don't need to spiral into guilt or that inner monologue of, oh my God, I'm failing again. That loop, the guilt, shame, give up cycle leads to learned helplessness. Well, more on that in the next episode, which I will share. But for now, just give yourself grace, deep breath, no shame spirals. And to remind you how human we all are, let me tell you what happened to me last fall, okay? Well, I decided I was going to be that mom, the one who packs adorable, healthy, well, Pinterest worthy lunches, okay? We're talking about smiley face sandwiches, grapes cut in half diagonally, because obviously that's the only safe and acceptable grape geometry, right? Monday morning, I'm feeling like a lunchbox goddess. I prep everything, tuck a little inspirational note also inside, and then I stick it in the refrigerator. I get the kids out the door, head to work, crush my 9 a.m. meeting, and sip my coffee like a woman who has her life together. Yes? Now at noon, I get a call from the school secretary. Hi, your daughter says she didn't get a lunch today? I'm like, that's impossible. I packed it. It's in her backpack. I even included carrot sticks cut into little stars. And she replies, well, what she does have is a lunchbox full of pens, sticky notes, and a phone charger. Yup. She brought my work bag. Meanwhile, her grape divided lunch is chilling in the break room fridge next to someone's sad quinoa salad. So it doesn't matter if it's boxed mac and cheese or star-cut cucumbers. Just double check you're sending food, not supplies, like me. But it's okay. Life happens. We are going to talk about how to reclaim our life, our calendar, our self-care, especially when external situations change that are not in our control and we feel overwhelmed. I used to think, why back to school feels like a full-time job? Well, let's be real. The moment school starts, the calendar explodes. Drop offs, lunch boxes, parent portals, work deadlines, PTA meetings, school supplies list. And oh my God, I hate them. These surprise spirit days, endless emails from the school. And somehow, then your kid decides now's the time to take up another sport. Right? I'm sure a lot of you have been in this exact situation. Now, a recent study showed 55% of moms say school logistics mess with their jobs. And 92% of working parents feel burnt out. Shocking? No, not at all. Relatable? Yeah, extremely. Yes. So if you're wondering, why am I exhausted when I'm technically back on schedule? It's not on you. Your brain is on overload. And here's the nerdy but important part. When you are constantly switching, okay, between mom, worker, scheduler, therapist, lunch lady, and professional socks locator, your prefrontal cortex, which we have talked about before, which is your decision making and your focus center, it gets fried like your child's laptop after a juice spill. And yes, my friend, that did happen to us. Okay. Yeah, my child literally did that. So that's exactly what's happening to your brain. Chronic stress messes with memory, attention, and emotional control. So if you forgot it was picture day or cried over a missing glue stick, that's not you being a mess. That's your brain doing too much. Now let's take your brain back from the brink. So it's time for a task and life audit, which I also call a back to school reset ritual. Think of it like a closet cleanup, except it's your calendar, not your junk stuff drawer. I hate those. So here's the thing, back to school chaos. It's an annual event, right? Just like New Year's, this season deserves its own reset ritual. It happens every year. So I now schedule a September life audit every year, right before school starts. It's become a non negotiable. Why? Because suddenly everyone's bedtime shifts, mornings gets rushed, and your time disappears like your socks in a dryer. So instead of panicking mid September, build in the reset before the overwhelm hits, okay? Your new schedule needs to prioritize your kids, your family, plus the me time you need for yourself, which will then energize you and enhance your focus for work. It is all related. So let's find out how to do it, okay? Let's go. I'm going to give you 3 steps. Step 1, we're going to talk about the 3 C's, okay? 3 C's are critical, core, and clutter. Number 1, let's go to critical. These are your non-negotiables, your tasks that cannot be negotiated. So school pickups, client meetings, work project deadlines, feeding your kids, right? These are your critical stuff. That's your first C, first bucket. Your second C is your core tasks. These are things that support your mental health and long-term goals, okay? Things like workouts, journaling, meditation, planning your meals so you don't eat leftover mac and cheese at 10 p.m. again. Guilty is charged. Okay, so these are your core tasks. And then third and the last is your clutter. As the name suggests, these are energy vampires. They really are. So get rid of the clutter. Volunteering for the third cookie fundraiser? Clutter. Overthinking a group text about team snacks? Clutter. Constant people pleasing tasks? Clutter. Cut it out. You don't owe anyone your exhaustion. If it doesn't spark peace, it's clutter. And what happens is when you're removing these low impact clutter, it frees up your cognitive bandwidth, boosting focus and resilience in things that actually are meaningful and are actually impactful in your life and on the people around you. Okay, so that's your step 1. Putting up your stuff into these 3 C's: critical, core tasks, and clutter. Yes. Now let's go to step 2. Reprioritizing with the boss brain and being creative. So we're going to talk about scheduling here. So working moms are not lacking motivation. We're just running outdated software. So for example, for your morning routine, rather than focusing on the problem that I cannot do it anymore because I'm busy packing lunches, getting kids ready at the morning hour, now Be creative and find a solution. Either get up 20 minutes earlier, find 20 minutes after the kids leave, ask for help. Hello, you can do that. Ask your partner if they can drop off the kids while you do your exercise or meditation. Simply asking is a solution many times. Or walk them to school and make that your cardio. Don't try to be perfect. Do it imperfectly, keep it small, but be consistent. Okay? Same way, evening routines, same deal for the evenings. You're at a soccer practice? Stretch on the sidelines, read a book, sit on the grass and breathe. At a dance class? Call a friend you haven't spoken to in months. Even 5 minutes of connection can lift your whole mood. Reset your schedule with your needs in mind. Get creative. You're not failing, you are evolving. And I highly suggest you listen to my episode 3, which was on superwoman syndrome. Of course, a lot of us have that. When never enough time becomes a life on empty. In this episode, I talk about peak performance windows and calendar strategies that don't include burnout. So I highly suggest you going through that episode because there are a bunch of tips and science that I teach in that episode. So that's step number 2. So rescheduling, reprioritizing, and finding creative ways to find time for things that are actually meaningful. That's step number 2. Now, the third and the final step is weekly questions to stay on track. So every Friday or whenever you get 20 quiet minutes, ask yourself these 3 questions. Okay? I want you to write them down. Number 1, what can I defer, delegate, or delete? Very, very important. So first question is, what can I defer, delegate, or delete? We always have something that falls in this category. Second question, what replenishes me? And am I making time for it? Are you? Ask yourself that question. And the third, what are my kids' actual needs versus societal expectations I'm trying to meet? How many things do we sign up just because everyone else is doing it? Be careful and intentional about this. It is a slippery slope. So the third question was, what are my kids' actual needs versus societal expectations that I'm trying to meet? Answer honestly, adjust weekly, and that's how you build a routine that works for you, not against you. Okay, so let's recap. This season isn't about doing more. It's about doing less with more intention. That should be your mantra. Doing less, but more intention. And here's your self-start checklist for the week. Number 1, audit your week using the 3 C's: critical, core, and clutter. Okay? And then reprioritize based on what you put in these 3 categories. Second, schedule one thing just for you. Small is fine, but be consistent. Third, delete or delegate 2 things that drain you. You gotta do this. And fourth, tell one mom she's doing amazing. She probably needs to hear it. Let's do that. So I want to say to you all, you've got this. Back to school isn't just about your kids adjusting. It's about you finding your rhythm again. Your brain isn't broken. It's burnt toast, but hey, we can still butter it up and make something out of it. So breathe, reset, reclaim your time, and reignite your joy. And remember, the laundry can wait, the emails can wait, but your energy, your mental clarity, that's your real MVP. And that is what you need the most when you show up for the people around you at work and at home. If today's episode gave you a little laugh, a little clarity, or just a permission slip to not volunteer for soccer snacks this week, share it with another working warrior. And hey, go schedule that self-care time like the boss you are. Your brain will thank you. Until next time, keep rocking, and go be kind to yourself. You're doing better than you think. Take care, everyone.
So that's it for today's episode of our Boss Brain podcast. Head on over to Apple Podcasts, iTunes, or wherever you listen and subscribe to the show. One lucky listener every single week that posts a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes will win a chance in a grand prize drawing to win a $25,000 private VIP day with Pallavi herself. Be sure to head on over to her bossbrainpodcast.com and pick up a free copy of Pallavi's gift and join us next time.